start this workshop session, and I would ask the clerk to please call roll.
Bartlett. Here. Cook. Here. Hopkins. Mudd.
Here.
O'Neill.
Here.
Aaron Scott. Bill Scott. Wonkel.
Here.
Wormowski. Here. Williams.
Here.
Mayor Redder.
Here.
City Attorney.
Here. Thank you. We'll jump right into the city attorney's report.
Thank you. One item discussing the liquor ordinance. This is for Case Creek. They have their own labeled wine that they sell, and they've got customers who'd like to buy a bottle of wine and take it home with them rather than drink it there. That's not allowed under the current license, which is a GC plus a restaurant license. So we're looking to amend that to convert it to a GCEE, which is like a tavern license that allows sales for on or off premises, for consumption on or off the premises. So we're not adding a license, we're just converting theirs to allow them to do the package sales as well. Any questions on that?
Right after.
That is accurate.
That sound pretty good?
Absolutely perfect.
Question? Go buy some wine, right?
That's right.
City clerk's report.
Well, for the past 60 days, I got notified that my payroll clerk will be retiring on April 5th. At that point in time, we started talking about the possibility of outsourcing the payroll part of our operation. And in order to do that, that would just mean that we would not hire an assistant payroll person. So we would move the assistant up to the payroll person and they do what they can do, but we would hire Kerber, Eck, and Breckel out of Springfield. And you wonder why we're going out of Springfield to do it, is that the only firm in Jacksonville is our auditor. And it would be a conflict of interest. They had another term for it, but they couldn't do both. So we went with them. The county currently uses them. They've been using them for 3 years, doing very well. And right now it looks like with the letter of engagement that we've got with them, we're going to probably save somewhere in the vicinity of $20,000 in the budget just by having them come in and do the payroll. The reason for it is the expertise in the payroll department is beyond someone just coming in and starting a job. Chris has been doing the job for a long time. She's been with the city over 25 years, been through all the departments, and she is a bookworm, so to speak. She reads and keeps up to date with everything. With all of the things that go involved with the IRS, with the state, with pensions, things like that, it's just a lot to maintain and keep up with. Kerber, Eck, and Breckel, I just say KEB because it's hard to say the other. KEB is very much up to date on all of that stuff on a regular basis. This is what they do. The person that we have that comes to our office will come in on a Monday during payroll week. They'll do payroll. She finished payroll up about 3:30 this afternoon. She came in about 8 o'clock or 8:30 this morning, so she finished it up. She'll come in tomorrow morning, finish up the rest of it. Should be done by 10, maybe 10:30. As time goes on, as she learns a little bit more, she'll be a little bit quicker and we'll cut down on that time. The other thing that we have is a backup person. In about 2 months from now, she'll bring another person with her, train her over the next couple of months at no cost to us. So she'll just be coming over as a trainee so that there's a backup for this at all times. Again, 2 reasons. 1, the expertise that KEB will bring, and number 2, the savings that it's going to actually save the city. So, any questions?
Do you know about how much it will save by any chance?
But around 20,000.
No.
So it's kind of going to fade in and out between 10 and 20, and the more she learns and the quicker she learns it, it'll save more money in the long run.
Yes.
I think right now, if I'm not mistaken, and talking with the county, they have a $35,000 budget for them, and it's an annual basis. Ours is just going to be from April to December, but they've also come in and done some training in between time, so it's still probably going to be about that. The savings comes in pension, insurance, FICA, all the other things that go along with it. The salary itself, the assistant state payroll clerk salary is about what we'll be paying them, but we'll be saving on the backside.
Yeah, because that's, the hidden cost is usually what most people don't even think about is money.
Right,
Yeah, good, that's good, very good.
okay?
And if you know Chris,
Yeah.
she leaves, so send her an email or if you're in City Hall, stop by and wish her well, so.
Nice
She's
lady.
been a great.
Her last day is April 4th, and I would appreciate that, thank you, Andy. Chris is one not to be patted on the back. She doesn't want anything, she just comes in and does her job. She's probably the best, if not one of the best employees that I've had in there. And I think that Andy can say the same thing, he had her as an employee for 4 years. But if you do see her, stop in and just thank her and wish her good luck, because she deserves it.
Okay, committee reports this evening, Parks and Lakes.
Sure, we have,
Alderman Large.
yeah, thank you. We have one item tonight, discussing waiving bids and accepting proposal for the, I meant to ask you how to say the name, Mahindra, side by side for the Parks and Lakes Department. It's under capital. improvement.
Yes.
And,
We'd like to go ahead and accept a proposal from Henry's here in town for Mahindra side by side for $13,900. We'll be able to get a blade for it to use on our sidewalks here in town. So it's a pretty good workhorse. We don't need anything fancy, don't need anything special. Just need it to work, need it to do the job. So that's what we're asking.
Under $15,000 in the capital improvement.
Correct.
Correct.
any other questions for Adam?
I think it's great that we're talking to Henry's. I think they felt a little shut out in the past with us just using Toro products, so it's nice to expand to something local.
Yeah, it was unfortunate last year when we got the new little tractor, we bid them and Beards, and actually Ryan lost by like $200 out of the total bid for that tractor, so we're able to do some work with him this time, and some little stuff, so yeah, we're happy about that.
But don't forget, the local companies within 3%, we got to go with the other bid, the local bid.
I understand that, but everybody approved the local bid, or the lowest bid last year, so.
Right, but even if it's not the lowest, if it's within 3%, we could do a local company.
Yeah, we talked about that,
Okay.
and the council decided to go with the bid from Beards.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, planning and public works. Anything on that tonight? Ward?
Sure. We'd like to discuss the TIF application.
Yes, we have an application for a TIF project in Jacksonville. Jim Duncan approached me a couple weeks ago, and we got together and filled out an application. The Amvets is wanting to do some major work, renovation work on their poor old building uptown, so it's kind of a combination of several things. They're doing some plumbing, some electrical, some flooring, and some general carpenter type contracting work. The total amount of construction is $76,102. The review committee for this project met on March 18th. All was discussed, and it was the agreement of the review committee to fund 50%, as we have in the past with similar projects. So the total TIF project would be $37,650. And I think it would be an excellent project for the downtown. We certainly want to keep them downtown if we can. I would suggest that we approve the application for Mr. Duncan and the Amvets. Any questions? I'd be glad to try to answer.
He couldn't make it tonight, he
Right.
had a conference, so he.
Right, he was gonna try to be with us, but he couldn't. So I'll try to field any questions you might have.
Kelly, on these TIF projects, I mean, normally they're on the outside?
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily?
A lot of it can be anything that's a substantial part of the structure
Okay.
is a qualified amount. So, you can do a lot of HVAC type work, anything ADA acceptable, or improvements to ADA. A lot of times it's structural components, brick, tuck pointing, that type of thing.
Do you know what his intentions are?
Yeah, They're doing quite a bit of plumbing, electrical, and flooring. And that, if you've ever noticed that east wall, they fight that a lot, that exterior wall. It's stuccoed now, but it has some structural deficiencies that they're gonna try to get fixed with this project. Okay? Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Special studies, Alderman Wormowski.
I emailed everyone some homework. It's the structure of the JREDC. It's something for us to talk about. I asked Mayor Ezzard on the April 8th meeting to put economic development. This is kind of like a preview. The next meeting we could maybe talk a little bit more. But just from a lot of discussions I've had with people in town, that economic development and attracting new businesses to town, new people to town, is something that people think is lacking. So I would just like to have us go over existing structures we have, like the JREDC, the chamber, and anything else that's going on to help the city of Jacksonville attract people to town and businesses to town, and have a discussion amongst ourselves and get some input from the community to see if there's anything we could do as a city council to aid this. I know we have money set aside with the gambling funds to support economic development projects. And I just think we should try a little bit harder, see if there's anything additionally we could do to help out Jacksonville.
But we need to work with Kelly's office too, because he's the community development director.
That is very true. Andy and Kelly are both on, and I think Skip are all on the JREDC. Kelly handles that with the city. I'm not trying to say that anybody's not, yeah.
You've been there from day one.
I'm not trying to say that anybody's not doing their job. I'm just trying to see, if there's anything else we do, just to make it more of a priority.
Steve, if I might, just a point of clarification, so everybody understands, there's a difference between community development and economic development. Economic development is shaking the bushes, looking for new businesses. I don't do that. I do planning, inspection, and zoning. That's community development. And that's mostly defined similar in all communities. But economic development is actually out there making phone calls, trying aggressively to try to attract new businesses to come here. It's attending like the Retailers Association meetings and the biggest ones in the country, the Shopping Center Association meetings and conventions and all that type of thing. Our office doesn't do that kind of stuff, Steve. So, we don't really have, as far as the community is concerned, JREDC is our biggest aggressor when it comes to actually pursuing new businesses and new industry and that type of thing.
And I guess that's one thing we could maybe talk about, that JREDC is set up to be the whole community, South Jacksonville and the county. Maybe we might need something else going on in the city specifically to push Jacksonville. The other thing too is that there's 10 people on the city council, and we all can be trained to be ambassadors, and even if we're shaking trees and making phone calls or doing whatever we can to help out too. And there might be some ideas from communities and something we could learn from other communities, what they've done. So that's about all I have on that for now. I guess while I have the floor, I could bring up one other thing that I talked with the mayor about last week. Erin White-Williams is going to be coming on the city council. She came up with an idea that in advance of the citywide cleanup, to have a citywide garage sale. So I thought we can get behind her on that. She's looking at the weekend of May 30th, 31st, June 1st, that weekend, the Friday, Saturday, maybe the Sunday. Something we could all work on with her, let her hit the ground running as a new alderman. I thought maybe the city could work with the Visitors Convention Bureau and push that as a reason to come to town, visit the farmer's market, do other things in town. And along that line, maybe we should have an administrative ruling to say that garage sales on that day won't count towards the annual limit that we passed. I think it was last year. We just will ignore that.
Wasn't thinking do 5 in a year.
I know, really.
And I talked to Sean Artis. I talked to Sean Artis at the county. He's helped out, the Rotary Club and, Main Street on some of the projects with mapping. And, he thought it would be really easy for him to come up with a Google map with, all the locations in town that are having garage sales. So we could just do it as something like, have this, see if this takes off, if it's something we could do every year as an inaugural event.
You put me down as a free and pick up.
Yeah. For those folks that have been around longer, Chief, did we not, the city have a garage sale back in out in Nichols Park in a long time
Not a long
ago?
time ago.
Yeah, I remember that when I was a kid.
Boy. I don't know if I remember that one.
I just,
That was something
no,
to do with.
I think Erin, if you don't know Erin, she has a group, a page that, I don't know if it's Jacksonville Swap Shop, but it's some 15,000 strong that she can get the word out, and I think it's a great idea, and she asked if she needed permission for this, and I said, just go for it.
Yeah.
And I think it's wonderful, we can help her out, we will, yeah.
And like you said, like the good old days, you could either go to Nichols Park or one of the parking lots in town, and people could sell out of the back of their cars if they only have a couple items to sell, so there's different things that we could do. And then, like you said, Erin is more familiar with all this stuff, and she'd be a good person to figure out all the details.
You know, Steve, during Prairie Land is almost a citywide garage sale now.
Very true.
There's thousands
And
of
she
them
mentioned that.
all over the place, you know, they've kind of done that on their own. You know,
She mentioned that.
it might be a good time to expand on that, because you got so many already during that time period.
But her thought process was, there's a lot of things that won't get sold, you might as well have it ready to take to the dump site.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Get rid of it, I mean, cause, you know, Lori's, we've talked, the TVs always, we're taking those again this year, which we need to keep doing that, I feel, I know we pay a little extra, but, I got them down in my basement, I need to carry up and throw away, instead of finding them on Country Club Road and in the lake. So, I
What's the
think,
date
I
of the
think it's
citywide
good.
cleanup this year?
May
Six-
31st.
No,
Oh, the 6th.
6th, 7th, and 8th is citywide cleanup. But this would be the weekend before, I think, probably starting on what, the 31st or 30th, 31st and 1st. I don't know what, but there's more to come, and
30th, 31st, and 1st.
I think that's what Aaron had in mind.
31st, 1st, and 2nd, I don't know, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, kind of something like that.
I think Litchfield has a huge downtown project like that every year.
No, we can talk with her.
We can steal every idea.
That's right.
And the other thing to bring up with that is that we have the Salvation Army, the Goodwill, and the Pathway all have stores that are used to support their services. And we can go out and encourage people to donate extras to them to sell in their stores.
All right. Utility, Alderman Walpole.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Two items tonight. Number one, discuss writing off delinquent accounts.
Okay, before I start, this always hurts me, I hate writing anything off. And if you know me well enough, I will continue to try to collect, okay? Even though it's written off, the accounts are noted very well, so if somebody wants to come back into the system, we'll now. So don't, count on me, I might still collect on some of these. I've got about a total of $9,128.31. And these are
Accounts or dollars?
dollars.
Okay.
These are accounts from, that vary from 2010 through 2017, and I really cannot collect them. A big portion of them, like $4,800, were huge balances that we've had for years. 2 were nursing homes and a hotel. I had Mark Phelan help me try to collect, and he couldn't even collect. They're just completely uncollectible. I've got $1,300 worth that people are deceased, and I just really can't collect at this point. And then the remaining 3,000, they're usually, like right now, I use the comptroller's office, they help me collect a lot. So if somebody leaves me a balance and I've got a social security number, I turn it over to the state of Illinois, and if they get a state income tax return, I can collect on that before they do. and they've helped me a lot. So I haven't come to the city council for a long time because I'm banking on that the comptroller still has a bunch of these accounts and they could collect on them. So they've helped us a lot. So really, at this point, you know, $9,100 isn't a lot to deem uncollectible.
Are the delinquent accounts published in any way?
No, because of the Privacy Act, I can't even tell you guys who they are, you know, and what their balances are.
You couldn't FOIA it or anything like that, like agreement?
You could FOIA it if you wanted to.
But I don't think you would get the names, you would just get the amounts.
So we can't like at least shame people into.
Whoa, we don't want to shame people. Come
Why
on,
not?
man. Nursing homes?
A nursing home is a business.
Well, two of them, I can tell you
It's
one
not
of
the
them,
individual people in the
Okay.
nursing home.
those are the ones that they're out of business. Modern Care was
Right.
a huge one.
Yeah.
You know, I can say that because
Because
I
it's a
don't.
business, yeah.
Right, and then the other one was, a hotel that was called Turf Industries or something. I don't know which one that was.
That was, the Amerihouse one.
Yeah, I think you're right. So those were the two heavy hitters. They're long gone. I mean, I don't even think they're established anymore as a corporation.
Because beyond shaming, it could be like, what if it's like 10 of my friends who are the scofflaws? And they're using my position as the alderman to be scofflaws. That's
I
something
should
that
hope not.
we don't want to happen.
Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah.
Number 2, discuss proposal for Pheasant Drive, Walnut Street Sanitary Sewer Line Project. And Mark with Bedman Associates here to tell us about it.
Thanks, Michael. We received 2 proposals out of the 4 specialty contractors. So tonight I'm here recommending the low contractor, which was, bear with me, in situ form out of Chesterfield, Missouri, at $48,302.56, which was a good bid. They plan on starting, it'll only be probably a 2-day project, which is gonna happen the end of April or the 1st of May.
And keep in mind, the reason we waived the bids on this, there's only a certain amount of companies that do this, right?
Yes, there's only actually four of them that specialize in lining sewers. And then Situ Form's a good contractor. They're all 4 actually, have done work with us before. And while I've got the floor real quick, this week, Wednesday or Thursday, the Northwest Street and Lafayette Waterman project is gonna start. And I'm looking at Adam right now because, well, first of all, Jack and Balin are gonna send out an email tomorrow morning to all city department heads. Parking be somewhat okay. What I'm getting at is there's gonna be some closures up here at Douglas, and then some as they progress further north. The biggest impact, I think, Adam, will be with the fire department. I could foresee the trucks going, they're gonna have to go out to the west on Douglas and not east, because that whole intersection is gonna be pretty much closed off for a few days while they're working in it. But, just kinda want everybody to be aware of that. Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
And how far did you say that construction's gonna go into?
Okay, it's gonna start here at Douglas in that intersection, because there's several tie-ins to the existing mains there. And then we'll go all the way down northwest to Lafayette,
Oh,
do a couple tie-ins there, and then east, under the sidewalk, they're gonna bore under the sidewalk all the way to Sandy and tie into the 10-inch line there. And eliminate this old cast iron main, there's been 3 or 4 breaks, and this is something Jack's wanted to do for quite some time.
Good.
Is that a city expense?
City expense,
I mean, that's not tied into any business or?
it's all local money.
Any other questions? Any public comment at this time? We will adjourn and go into the big room now.
the big-